time to jump into project cars with the Jaguar JP-LM on the Nurburgring with the Oculus Rift DK2 whilst it's raining. The perfect storm or recipe for what is likely to be a quick visit to the wall. Let's just restart this session. It's getting going. It should all be set up from... oh, I'm flying in the air. Should all be set up from when I last launched it. And there we go. Just need to center the camera. I've bound the center DK2 to a button on my joypad, which makes it nice and easy to recenter. And we're off. Now the rain looks absolutely incredible with the DK2. I especially like the spray of the cars in front. And although it's raining on a mostly sunny day, probably because I've set the weather settings up wrong. Whoa, the car continuing on. It just looks and feels absolutely incredible. Again, driving simulators with the DK2, or with aquaplaning, or just sliding off the track in general. The DK2, they're not interested in my crash. They're too busy looking at something else. The DK2 makes any driving simulator and just a sense of being in the car, it's just so much better than playing this on a screen. Now it has to be said, DK2 support in project cars still isn't perfect. There's a little bit of latency on the head tracking, but even with that, if you've got a strong stomach or lead-lined stomach such as myself, it's more than playable with the DK2. Just for those of you that have a little bit of a sensitivity to motion sickness, or have got used to Live for Speed, Assetto Corsa, or Blaze Rush, or games that just support the DK2 perfectly, then you might be a little bit disappointed with it. Hopefully, by the time Project Cars comes out of development, I don't know, it's only a couple of months away, maybe they'll have better DK2 support, but even if not by then, when the consumer version of the Rift is out, which looks like it'll be the end of 2015 this year, it'll be absolutely amazing if Project Cars fully supports it, and the consumer version of the Rift looks like it's going to have far better resolution, far better head tracking, just all around a better VR device than the DK2, which I can't wait to try out. And they've been demoing the latest version at CES, which is on right now. So we'll just have to wait and see when they announce the DK2, the consumer version, properly. But back to Project Cars and this Palmer Jaguar. The car seems fairly progressive. It's a little bit slidey, but you know, that's what you'd expect driving in the wet. I did try this car on the monitor in the dry, and oops, it seems as if, like the Formula A, they've gone the default setup. They've gone with the default setup that's quite forgiving and understeery, and just generally doesn't let you get the back of the car out too much in the wet. And one of the reasons why I put it in the wet, you can play with the car a little bit more. You have to be a little bit more ginger on the throttle, which to me makes things far more enjoyable. If you look at my last review video of the Mazda prototype in Assetto Corsa, that vehicle is absolutely phenomenal, purely because you can just play with the car on the accelerator and with a bit of counter steer, and that to me is where all the enjoyment is in sim racing, or most of it. Having said that, I like this in the wet, having to be careful on the braking, and the car does step out. You do have to catch it to make sure that you don't go off for a bit of a pirouette into the wall. Now the Nurburgring in Project Cars, this is my first time actually driving it semi-properly. I've given it a quick bash on the monitor. It's the first time doing it with the DK2, and you know, it looks really... I'm getting absolutely blasted by solar rays. I can't see the track at all. It looks stunning. The distance fog as well, particularly noticeable against the trees in the horizon, the forest in the horizon. It's really, really believable. And the lighting of the cockpit, which is obviously picking up the track details, it just, with a track that's sort of countryside-y like this, looks amazing. The hills and the track Oh no, 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 no. The hills and the track undulations as well, particularly noticeable with the DK2, but I don't know if this is an accurate representation of the real track, but even if it's not, it certainly feels absolutely fantastic to drive on. Oh no. Definitely need to brake earlier for that corner. In the wet at least. But this is the thing, I'm not sure if this is using laser scan data. I don't think it is. But one advantage with tracks that are laser scan, I think Project Cars has a couple, is that when you go from one sim to another, the track will always be the same. So you only really have to learn it once, give or take the different aspects of each game's physics engine. But at least you know the layout and the breakpoints will be the same. Whereas when you have tracks that aren't laser scanned, they often tend to be quite different. Now, I've spent a fair bit of time in Snoopy's version of nurburgring in Assetto Corsa, and back in the day, a decent amount of time in GTR Evolution, and then more recently in R Factor 2 as well. There's a modded version. I can't see the track. There's a modded version of the Assetto Corsa, of the Nurburgring, which you can download. All of which are totally different from each other. And again, this seems totally different. I wouldn't have a clue which is closer to reality. But the point is, when we get laser scan tracks, it'd be nice to see them all sort of come together. Assetto Corsa getting a laser scan track, Race Experience getting a laser scan version, and maybe Project Cars as well. Who knows? Unless this is a laser scan version, but I don't think it is. So, absolutely fantastic. We kind of made it in one piece. I think we only would have died once, and we're just coming up to the last couple of corners over the hill there. Need the Richard Burns rally pace notes. A track like this is so much to take in though, especially with the DK2, because there's so much going on, all these little bits of trackside stuff flying past you, the rain making the track a little bit slippy, and you get moments of the car just wanting to snap out, which you have to suddenly react to. But oh, absolutely fantastic. I can't see the track, let's just guess. The sun blinding you. Better watch out for cyclists, otherwise we're going to be taking them all out. Oh, just to keep going. I definitely need to fiddle with these car setups. I think, like the Formula A, as I said, this Jaguar set up to be fairly understeery, back end not really wanting to come out, and that even when you turn quite violently, the back end just stays in place and the car sort of goes into a bit of a sloppy understeer as we go under the Hindenburg. Hopefully it doesn't catch on fire right now. At least if it did, we might dry a bit of the track off. But that's definitely going to be my task, is to fiddle with some of these car setups, or maybe someone's made some that make them a little bit more tail happy, because that's what I really like with driving simulators, having a, you know, counter steering. You can do a bit of that with this car in the wet, but only on the slower corners. But there we go. We completed a lap, kind of in one piece. Only broke my ankles. Only spent £2,000 fixing the bonnet of the car after driving into the wall at 50+ miles an hour. But if you haven't got Project Cars, I certainly think it's a really exciting title. Graphically, it looks fantastic. The physics keep improving. The force feedback keeps improving. The sound's really good. The DK2 support, not quite there, but I think it's getting there. And just look at that. Absolutely stunning. The sound of the rain on the bodywork. You could just leave Project Cars on in the background and use it as one of those meditative soundtracks to fall asleep to. But thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Look out for more videos coming soon. I'll be doing more Project Car stuff. Drop a comment what cars you'd like me to try with the DK2. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye.